I'm a little early, so I may be too early. Yep, there's one. Hey, Edge, I know, buddy. I was going to be on at 7, but I've got some packing to do and some other stuff to get done, so I'm going to get this done a little bit earlier. How's your back feeling, buddy? I hate to hear that. And I'm outside. Hey, Courtney, what's going on? Listen to the big old Harley going down the road. Everybody thinks they got to run them at, 1,000 decibels. Are you feeling okay, Edge? I mean, I seen the armband stuff, and I've been so busy today. I got the Xterra back. Finally, I'll tell you all the story about that here in a minute. When everybody gets on. It was a pretty funny story. What's up, Wade? You all right? Hello, all. How's the weather? Where y'all are at? It's pretty nice here. As you can see, I got on long sleeves. I'm doing this outside. He is struggling. Finally made it back the ER now. It's good to hear you made it back home. I'm glad to hear that. Hope it gets to feeling better. Um, got on long sleeves and long pants because the mosquitoes here will eat you up. The field behind me kind of stays wet and it draws mosquitoes. And if you wear shorts outside about this time of day, it'll eat you up. Hey, aficionado, what's going on, buddy? You doing all right? I know the weather where you're at's probably good down there in Florida. Oh, you're still at the hospital. Sorry about that. I thought I read that as you made it back home. Dude, the fish. I watched that video that you put up the other day about them fish jumping up, and I wasn't prepared for the first one that jumped up. I was like, holy crap, it's a big fish. It was actually pretty funny because I was totally unprepared for that. 85 and sunny. That's about what it is here, I'd say. It might be down about 78 or 80 right now since the sun's kind of went in. Hitch says he tripped over something at work. Somehow my feet were over my head and landed on my upper back. Oh man, that ain't good at all. That's never good. I hate to hear that, man. Nothing but storms here. They're calling for storms here the rest of the week, and the reason I'm doing my live stream tonight is because I'm going to Pigeon Forge with my wife for the rest of the weekend. And Fish wants to know if you're okay, Brian. Courtney says Gear thought to himself, "What the crap?" Yeah. Um, Wade says you and your wife head out. Yeah, tomorrow we're heading out to Pigeon Forge for the rest of the weekend. I think it's supposed to be decent tomorrow. I actually took tomorrow off, and I've got Monday off, so I've got a 4-day weekend coming up. So we'll probably head out a little earlier tomorrow than maybe what we had thought about actually leaving out, and get up there and go through some Tanger and maybe the island. And I don't know if I'll go by Bud's Gun Shop and Smoky Mountain Knife Works tomorrow, or if I'll do that Saturday, and Bass Pro Shop. But I'll be at some of those places probably. I'm going to guess that'll probably be Saturday if I was guessing. We may do that Saturday. So if y'all in Pigeon Forge and want to come by and say hey, I'll be at Smoky Mountain Knife Works and Bud's Gun Shop. I may post on Instagram what time I'm going, just in case anybody's going to be around that area. Let's see here. Edge says, hope you guys have a nice weekend. I think it's supposed to be decent tomorrow and rain all day Saturday. That's why I said we'll probably do the indoor stuff like Smoky Mountain Knife Works and Buds and Bass Pro Shop Saturday, because it's supposed to rain all, like 80% chance. I guess we could stay at the cabin, and they've got a hot tub there and a like skee ball table and stuff like that. But I like to get out and roam a little bit whenever I go somewhere. Ed says I'm alive. That's good to hear, but you're still in some pain, which sucks. Courtney says it's pretty nice out. It's really nice out here. Even in long sleeves, I'm not just sweltering, but it is warm. Yep, Thunder Whisperer just waiting to be seen. Hopefully they get you in quick. If it's anything like the ERs here, you're going to be there a while, which sucks bad. When I cut my wrist one time, I dropped a knife and actually tried to catch it, and the blade flung around and cut my wrist, and I actually thought I'd kill myself because it started spraying blood like, you know, you stuck a hog. And they got me in pretty quick that day, and stitched me up. And also, they thought I was having a heart attack 2 years ago, I think it was, and they got me back pretty quick back then. You go in there with chest pains, uh, you're pretty much sent to the front of the line. Let's see here. Thunder Whisper says, Wade says, that's half of it, Edge. Ed says, yep, it is Thunder Whisper. Just waiting to be seen. I had read that. Courtney said, I hope you two have a lovely weekend as well. I appreciate that. I'm sorry, Edge, that you're feeling bad on this long weekend. That really sucks. Fish says, Bass Pro's awesome. You know, I love Bass Pro, and I go there, you know, every time I go to Pigeon Forge, but very seldomly do I buy anything. Like their guns, which is, you know, mainly what I do, is so high. I just can't believe how high their guns are, and people buy them. I asked them one time, I said, how do y'all sell very many pistols? And they were like, oh yeah, we sell all kinds of them. And I was like, God, I don't know how. They had a Smith & Wesson M&P there that was like $600 and some, and it did not have night sights. And I had the same Smith & Wesson M&P with night sights that I'd paid like $450 for. So, I mean, but I love Bass Pro Shop. I go every time I'm up there. I mean, I really do. The fishing stuff might be priced normal, but the gun stuff is astronomical. Wade said, did you get checked out, Edge? I think he's still waiting. Edge says, went to urgent care, and they referred me to the ER. Figures. Wade says, chest pains, front of the line is right. Yeah, oh yeah. They took me back there and plugged me up to everything and then sent me a huge bill. Edge says, we all don't have a Bud's gun shop. Ha ha ha. We didn't have a Bud's gun shop till about 3 or 4 years ago. And tell you the truth about it, Smoky Mountain Knife Works actually probably has as many, if not more, guns than Bud's does. They just don't have the indoor shooting range. And the last few times I bought firearms, I bought them from Bud's, or not Bud's, Smoky Mountain Knife Works, because they actually beat Bud's prices. Or either Bud's wouldn't have it in stock and Smoky Mountains would, or Smoky Mountain Knife Works just beat their prices all out. So I've actually bought my last 2 or 3 from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Yeah, Buds, I figured that out, what you're saying. Eddie says, how is everyone doing this evening? Doing great here, Eddie. Got the Xterra back today. Feeling pretty good about it. I'll tell you the story here in just a little bit. And I also got a letter over here from Throbber. I think I know what's in it. It's probably my autograph decal. Throb is probably watching. He said he might be watching, but he's getting ready for a yard sale. So he might not be commenting too much. He might not be on here because he didn't think I was going live till 8. But I decided to do it early because I still have to pack and stuff like that. Ed says, hey, Eddie. Courtney said, I love Bass Pro Shop as well. Cool fish tank. Boy, they do have some nice fish tanks. Good. Not the one up here in Pigeon Forge has a huge fish tank. Eddie says, Edge, how you feeling? Edge says, I'm in pain right now, still waiting to be seen. The bad part is about back pain. Hey, Keenan. Keenan says, hey, how you doing, Keenan? Welcome to the live stream. The bad thing about back pain is if you're sitting down or laying down, usually it doesn't matter. It's going to hurt regardless. It's like you can't find anything that helps, especially if you have like a pull muscle or something like that. It's usually real deep and you can't massage it. You can't lay down. You can't sit up. You can't lay sideways. A lot of times I'll roll a pillow up when my lower back starts hurting, not my upper back, and stick it underneath my lower back and arch it and keep it arched about all night. And now it hurts like crazy whenever you take the pillow out, but it feels very good after you get the pillow out for a few minutes. It says it feels like a vertebra rubbing. That's never good, man. That's bad. That's the way my neck feels after the car accident in Myrtle Beach, and they wanted to fuse my neck. I know exactly how that feels, and that is an awful feeling. I'm gonna tell you all the story about the Xterra. So I get a phone call today. I was actually at the hot dog place getting one of those Italian spicy sausages I got the other day that I was telling y'all about. Fish says, Brian, you're a beast. You just fell on your back and still shows up to the live stream. I know. I appreciate it, Edge. I mean, that's awesome. I guess it beats whatever they got. I ain't gonna say it beats whatever's on TV. They may be showing something good on TV, but anymore there ain't much on TV. I watch YouTube all the time, so I know they've got the little TV up there probably playing. So hope it's in a good neighborhood. Hope you're not in the bad neighborhood you are with all the thugs. And if they are, they just heard me say bad neighborhood with all the thugs. Oh, be careful when you're leaving. Wade says it even hurts to have sex with a bad back. My may dull the pain for a bit though. Yeah, that's definitely true. Just be the one on the bottom. Don't be the one on the top. Don't do all the work. Ed says nothing else to do sitting in the hospital. I agree. You're trying to get me killed. I didn't even think about it when I said it. The world could be ending and we would still be here. I understand. I understand. So I go today to pick up the Xterra. I get the phone call while I'm getting my hot dog, and I go up there and pick it up. Start up, running great. Ain't got any gas in it. Knew it didn't have any gas in it. LOL, it made me burst out laughing. I know. As soon as I said it, I was like, crap. So I go up there. I knew it didn't have any gas. It didn't have much gas in it when I dropped it off. And so I run over there to get gas. Everything's good. Run down the road. About 5 miles down the road, check engine light comes on. I was like, oh my God, not again. So I turn around. I drive it back. Now I didn't take it. Of course, I didn't take it to the same guy I took it to last time. I took it to an actual great place, probably the best mechanics that we actually have here. And so I turn around and take it back. These guys are so good that when I walked in, I said, all right, my check engine light come on. They go out there. They read the light. He tells the other guy the code. It's like a P400, I think it was. And the guy was like, I believe that's the EGR code. He said, you've left that vacuum line unhooked. They walked out there and a vacuum line halfway down the middle of the engine up underneath something that he had to get a pair of like needle nose pliers this long and plug it back up with. And that's what it was. He's like, yeah, that's what it is right there. That's what it was, an EGR code and a knock sensor code. And they walked straight out there and plugged that back up. I've drove it all day since then. I took 2 hours vacation day. My dad had a doctor's appointment, so he couldn't take me after work. So I actually took 2 hours vacation, went and picked it up, and I've drove it around ever since. Now something strange happened. When they did that, now I had my radio on, playing it going out the road, and when I went back and they fixed it, my radio quit working. And I was like, what the crap? I can't catch a break. So I get home, I check all the fuses. Dad's feeling good. He just had a checkup, Courtney. Thanks for asking. He had cancer a few years back on his nose, like skin cancer, because he worked outside for so many years, and they had to do radiation. He has this mask, has a hole in it right here where they did the radiation on it. But he goes back like once a year for a checkup for that, and everything come out good. So I appreciate you asking. So I was like, I can't catch a break. So I come home, I check all the fuses. I found the audio fuse. All right, the audio fuse in an Xterra is underneath the hood. It's not in the dash like all the rest of the fuses. So I found the one that's blowed, replaced it, turned it on, nothing happened. I was like, come on, seriously? So I took the radio out, checked the fuse in it. I have an aftermarket radio in it. It's a Kenwood doubled in, and the fuse in it's good. And I was like, is the radio just fried then? I mean, I've had Alpines just fry, so I was like, maybe it just fried it. And so I thought, well, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to unhook the negative cable and just leave it unhooked for a little while, and then hook it back up, and we'll see what happens. So I unplugged it, walked inside, did something, come back out, hooked it back up, started up, fired it up, everything worked. So right now, knock on wood, the Xterra's running great. It's quiet. There's no check engine lights on. Nothing's leaking. The radio's working. Everything's working perfectly right now. I do trust these guys. I think they did a great job. They actually did some stuff to it that I didn't ask them to. They did charge me for it, don't get me wrong. But when they told me what they did, it was totally worth it. When they swapped this engine out, there was a few things they had to replace, like the alternator and the starter on the other one was busted. So I had to just take mine off and replace it. My plenum and intake had to be swapped because the O2's intake and plenum, no headers, the headers and intake plenum, because they're different on the O3 and O2. Mine's O3, so I had to swap that. And then while they had it out, they was like, we figured you'd want to do this, so we went ahead and replaced the valve cover gaskets. We went ahead and replaced the oil pan gasket because those are notorious for starting to leak, and you have to, take out the transaxle stuff, a lot of stuff underneath the vehicle to get that out. So it's like a $500 or $600 fix. So while they had it out, it's very minimal. They just went ahead and replaced that just to make sure it didn't start leaking later. And they put a rear main in it, so they wouldn't have to take all that out either if it ever started leaking. So he said, I think it was like $250 or $75 to do all that, and he said any one of them would cost three to 5 times that to fix. So I was very grateful they thought far enough ahead to do that. So that was a good thing. But I'm very happy with it. It's on. I've drove it around. Just went to McDonald's in it. Got food. So waited in line at McDonald's was crazy slow, so it didn't overheat, didn't heat up or nothing like that. They did change the oil and the antifreeze in it and everything too. So while we're caught up on comments, there actually isn't any more comments. I'm going to go ahead and open Throb's letter. I actually had to black out my address because I forgot I gave him my home address. What year is my Xterra? It's an 03. My Xterra had 135,000 miles on it, and it never had anything done with the engine or anything until the guy messed it up. And I found an 02 at the junkyard that had just been wrecked like a week or two before. And Thunder says, I'm still working but checking in and liking. Hey, I appreciate that, Thunder. Hope you're having a good day, and I hope work's going good for you. Thanks for stopping by. So I actually found one at a junkyard. It's a 02, had 60,000 original miles on it, and it hadn't damaged it enough to where I couldn't start it. So I actually got to start it and everything, hear it run before I bought it. They took it out, and I put mine. It actually probably quieter than it was before. I mean, mine was a pretty quiet engine, but this only has less than half the miles on it, so I can't complain. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I actually had to black out my address because I forgot I gave Throb my home address. So let's open it. Let's see what we got here. And he already told me I could read this on his live stream Tuesday. So let's see what we got. They did autograph it. It got a little smudged in the process, but it is there. So yeah, and you can see right here where it actually smudged on the letter, but it is autographed. I can read it. I probably won't be putting this on anything, Rob, since it's autographed. I'll probably keep it like it is, and then whenever you get big and famous, I can say I've got your autograph on your decal. Plus, I've already got one. I actually have my Yeti out here. I've actually got one on my Yeti. So I've actually already got one on what people see the most. Whenever I go to the beach, this thing's with me all the time. So, everybody at the beach will see. This is where I put everybody's decals for YouTube. Including the Runner Punisher, which I need to have one of these made in black because that silver is kind of hard to see. So let's see what the letter says. Hey Andy, here's your autographed, one-of-a-kind Throb Nation sticker. Thanks for watching and being a huge part of the channel. We'll see you on the web. Rob and Krista. Well, I don't know what that was, but I don't think it was a gunshot. At least it wasn't directed at me. We do hear gunshots here a lot, so even if it was a gunshot, it wouldn't be nothing, any different than usual. Hey Mike, what's going on, buddy? I got on a little earlier than I actually had anticipated getting on here. So sorry about that, but I was telling them I had some packing to do and just getting ready. Normally I would be packed like 3 days ago. Fish says roten, like 3 days ago, ready for this. But sorry I'm late, been grilling. What'd you fix? I had McDonald's. I bet your food was a lot better than mine. But I've been putting it off, and I actually forgot. So I'm more like my wife now. She packs like 30 minutes before we leave and then forgets a few things. So that'll probably be me. I'll try to get all this stuff done and laundry done, stuff like that. Brats. I had brats today, but they wasn't, I didn't cook them. They were at the hot dog guy place where I had them the other day. It sounds good though. I love them. I love the brat I had today. It was awesome. It was I think he calls it a spicy Italian sausage. I think is what he calls it. It's kind of hot, and then he takes like a hoagie bun, heats it up on the grill too, and then he actually puts grilled onions and peppers on it, and then spicy mustard, so it's actually extra spicy. It was really good. Eddie says, we hear them all the time. Yeah, we do too. This big field behind me, I have put a lot of bullets in that field. There's a huge hill that goes way up. There's no way you can shoot over it. So you just got to kind of watch out for cows. When cows are stupid. I mean, they're stupid. You start shooting and they hear it, and they have a field over here too, and they'll walk all the way around that field and walk over here and walk right behind where you're shooting to see what's going on. And you're like, really? And then you got to sit there and wait on the move. Cows are stupid. Eddie says, how you doing, my bro? Hey, I'm doing good, Eddie. How you doing? Thanks for being here, buddy. I appreciate you stopping by and saying hey. I'm on here a little early, Eddie. I just, like I was telling him, got to get some stuff done later. Rudy says, hey, Slick, about time. It's been gone, what, about 3 weeks? Oh, you talking about the live stream or the Xterra? I've been doing lives on Friday nights, right after Throb, but yeah, the Xterra's actually been gone 10 weeks. I've put about almost 4,000 miles on my truck since that thing's been gone. It's good to have it home just to save miles on my vehicle. Jack says, hello, everyone. Listening mode, driving in heavy traffic. Hey, keep your eyes on the road, Jack. I appreciate you stopping by. I almost threw me off. I keep you on the road, Jack. Like, the saying, Jack. I was like, I got stuttered there for a minute. Appreciate you stopping by, Jack. Hey, I got that picture. I'm not going to tell everybody about it yet, but that thing looks awesome. I cannot wait to get that in hand. And I've got some stuff planned for it and stuff like that y'all get to see. But it looked great. I showed it to some people at work, and they were like, holy crap, that's awesome. Some gear guys too. Mike says, you were doing good till you got to mustard. It was spicy mustard. I'm not a big regular mustard fan. I can eat regular mustard on regular hot dogs, but yeah, spicy mustard lemon was great. The Xterra's actually been gone 10 weeks, Rudy. It's been gone forever, and it's been 3 weeks at the other shop, but I knew it was going to be about 3 weeks there. Oh, for the engine, yeah. Yeah, I knew it was going to be about 3 weeks there because they was not going to get started on it till last week. And I knew that going ahead. I just went ahead and took everything out there and dropped it off so they would have it. But it's running like a sewing machine now. It may blow up tomorrow, but right now it's running like a sewing machine. I couldn't ask for a better vehicle right now. Jack says, thumbs up. Hey, thumbs up, buddy. It's awesome. I ain't even lying. Everybody at work was just oogling over it. Rudy says, no, I meant in the shop for the engine. Yeah, they did a real good job, though. I was telling them when I first picked it up and started leaving, about 5 miles down the road, the check engine light came on, and I had to take it back. And those guys are so good that the guy that read the code was like, it's a P400, and he was like, oh, well, that's an EGR code, and I know exactly what it is. And he goes there and gets a pair of needle nose pliers about that long and plugs up a vacuum line halfway down underneath the engine somewhere that you can't even hardly see. And that light ain't come back on yet. I was like, how in the world did y'all know that? I mean, I guess you do that enough. You just, know what's going on, but still, to find a vacuum line way down underneath the engine, you have to have a needle nose pliers a foot long to fix. I was pretty impressed, which I knew it was good anyway. That's why I took it there. And the cost wasn't crazy. I had about $1,100 in the engine. And like I said, the engine had 60,000 miles on it. I looked at a lot of places for engines, and a lot of engines had like 120, 150,000 miles on them. People wanted $1,200 to $1,500 for them with that many miles on it. I looked up and found this one that had 60,000 miles on it and got it for just about $1,100 tax and all out the door. And Eddie says, make sure you hit the like button. Hey, I appreciate that, Eddie. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. So I had about 1,100 in the engine, took it out there and dropped it off. And they said it was going to be about 1,000 or 1,100 to install it, but it wound up being like 1,421 because they replaced all those gaskets and stuff. So it was like 1,100 before taxes. So I think to replace all the gaskets and I, like I said, I just had my time belt and water pump like 3,000 miles ago, and they swapped that out also. So to do all that was like $250, $300. And like I said, any of that, I know the time belt and water pump cost me over $700 to have it done. So any of that would easily cost 2 to 3 times what I paid to have it all done. So I was, very much happy to have that done. Mike says, "Are you doing anything in Gatlinburg or just relaxing?" We'll be in Pigeon Forge. Uh, we don't go to Gatlinburg a whole lot. I know they're basically the same thing, but Gatlinburg's roads are so small and it's hard to get around that we don't go to Gatlinburg much. Somebody decided to start mowing. Uh, but I plan on my wife likes going to Tanger and Island. And I like walking around in places. I like getting out, just walking around. I may not buy a lot. I do buy Under Armour, so I'll go to the Under Armour outlet and see what they got in there. I may buy a few polos or something like that. But as far as spending money in those places, I don't spend a lot. But I do love walking around in there, exercise outside. Even in the wintertime, I like walking around those places. And the island, if you've never been to Pigeon Forge, the island is basically like being like Broadway at the beach or something like that. They have a lot of the same stores and the same things, and it's almost like being at the beach in Pigeon Forge. So I really, really love that for the atmosphere because I'm a beach bum. Everybody pretty much knows that, and so I love going there and walking around. And there again, I don't buy a lot. They do have a store that has like some Marvel superhero stuff in there, and I may buy a few things in there every once in a while. But on Saturday, I was telling people that I'll probably go to Bass Pro Shop, Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and Bud's Gun Shop. So if any of y'all are going to be in Pigeon Forge this weekend, I may post that on Instagram for the ones that wasn't here earlier, and tell y'all what time I'm going to be there. If you want to stop by and say hey, I'll I'll be there to meet. Courtney says, "Does Pam like to shop?" Yeah, Pam likes to do kind of what I like to do. She don't spend a lot of money when we go to places like that. Now, the risky thing is when you get me in Bud's Gun Shop and the Knife Works. There's where it's risky because there's a lot of stuff in there I like, and I'm very spontaneous when I spend money. So if I walk in there and I see a gun, and I'm like, oh, and what I usually do, don't tell my wife this, is like that gun's really rare, and sometimes that gun is rare. I'm not lying, but I go that gun's really rare, and it's hard to find, and I need to buy it right now because I may not see another one for a very long time. And she buys into it, so she don't watch these videos, so I ain't got nothing to worry about. But she buys into it, and I buy it. And she's like, yeah, if it's rare, go ahead and get it. You may not get it for a long time. Heck, they may have 15 in the back, but that's that's wrong, ain't it? I know it's wrong. I get it, but it is what it is. So it's funny though. Now, as far as Knife Works go, Knife Works has so much stuff. You're bad. I know it. I know it. That is bad. See, if Edge was watching this by himself, he would use that tactic on you now. He'd be like, Courtney, this is so rare. Sounds like Brian. Good move. Fish says, good move. I'll have to try that. Yeah, it works, Like when Obama was in office, Courtney, he does that already. So when Obama was in office, all the gun control stuff was just crazy. I mean, there was always some kind of big gun control scare, and you couldn't find ammo, you couldn't find guns, and there was a huge scare on AR-15s. And I'd been wanting a BCM, a Bravo Company rifle, for a long time. I had one that was a spike slower with a Bravo upper, but I wanted one with a Cole Hammer forged barrel because that was a new one, and I wanted a complete Bravo Company rifle. I don't know why. There's only like 4 people in the United States that makes AR-15s lowers, so it really doesn't matter. But I wanted one stamped BCM. So I called Pam, and I was like, oh my God, they're going to ban these guns. I'm not going to be able to get one. This thing's like $1,300, and it didn't have nothing on it. I mean, it was a stripped rifle. And I was like, but I got to get it. And she's like, oh, fine, go ahead and buy it. So I ordered this rifle. Then nothing happened. I wound up buying like 3 more rifles. Not then, but since then. So the ban didn't happen. But it was kind of funny. Mike says Knife Works is so crowded every time I go. Knife Works is crowded, and that's a huge store. But they've got so much stuff in Knife Works that it's hard to get around. Like there's so much stuff in there that you know, there's barely enough room for 2 people to fit down the aisleway. And there's so many people in there anyway that it's hard to get around. It is a huge store, very very huge, largest knife store in the world. But it there's just so many people there, and there's so much congestion in the store with just items that it's just hard to get around. Now, you know, they don't sell a lot of custom knives. Like, I have some Strider knives and some Olamic Tactical Customs, and, you know, I've owned some Kirby Lamberts and stuff like that. Those custom knife people, you usually have to buy them secondary market or order them from the books that they put people on. It's hard to get on some of the books of them custom knife people. And if you buy it from the secondary market, a lot of them things, you know, if you pay $400 or $500 for a custom knife from the manufacturer, it may cost you $1,000 to $1,200 on the secondary market, because it may be, you know, a year before a, you know, knife maker can make it. So if you don't want to wait that year, you're going to have to pay a large premium above what you would pay if you bought it new from the manufacturer. I feel like a bug is like buzzing around my nose, driving me crazy. So they don't sell stuff like that. But about any production knife you want, like ZT or Case, Microtech, they even, since Tennessee now can carry automatic knives like switchblades and stuff like that, they carry a bunch of those now from Microtech. Microtech is probably one of the best manufacturers of automatic knives made, and they have a huge section of them, and that is where it's going to be hard for me tomorrow, because I've been wanting to combat Truden, and God, that's going to be hard not to get that if I got one. I hope they don't have one. That's all I'm going to say is I hope they don't have one. Mike says, hey, Fish, love the tarpon feed. I love that video, too. I was telling him I was not expecting that first big tarpon to jump up out of the water. I was like, holy crap, that's a big fish. Mike says, huge store, very huge store. And Fish says, thanks, Mike. It was a great video. I really enjoyed that video. I liked seeing people lay down. It looked like, hey, Fish, was like the seagulls grabbing the fish out of your hand, like underneath the dock, because that's what it looked like, kept jumping out and grabbing it. And I'm assuming that's what it was, not seagulls, but the pelicans. With the pelicans grabbing it out from underneath the dock, because I don't think fish was getting it every time. It looked more like pelicans were getting it sometimes. So I don't know if it was or not, but that's just what I was thinking. So, have y'all got big plans this weekend? Everybody got plans for the Memorial Day? I hope y'all have a great weekend. I don't want to forget to say that at the end. I may say it again, but it's just in case I forget. Hope every one of you have a great weekend. Hope it doesn't rain too much where you're at. Grill out, spend time with family. I'm assuming most of y'all probably have at least a 3-day weekend. Jack says, have you seen the Zach Brown knife? It's called Grind the Knife. It's good, but the clip is about 1 inch and not functional. I've seen some of Zach Brown's knife. I've not seen the one called Grind, but what's his company called? It ain't Steel Wheel, is it? I forget what the name of his knives are. But I have seen them, but I've not seen that one. I'll look that one up after this video is over and see what that looks like. I will tell you this. My Olamic Tactical Custom knife has a clip on it that is very, very low to the knife, and it's very hard to get that in like pockets, like tactical pants that have double fabric on it to reinforce the pocket. So I actually got a hold of Olamic Tactical, and I'm going to send my knife back to them, and they're going to custom make me a new clip for it that's wider at the top so I can actually fit it in tactical pants. I'm assuming people that buy their knives probably don't use them because they're a little bit pricey. But I do. It don't matter what something costs to me. I can't justify spending money on something if I'm not going to use it. So that's just me. I mean, there's nothing wrong with collecting knives or collecting guns and not using them or anything like that. Anything. I mean, if that's what you want to do, I'm totally fine with it. But I do use my stuff, and I don't care to, you know, I bought a Strider knife one time off a guy at work, and I'll never forget this. There's a guy at work and if y'all don't know what Strider is a really beefy tactical knife. He was probably one of the most popular custom tactical knives made for years, and then he quit making production knives, and now all he does is custom knives, and some of his custom knives will be $1,500, $2,000. Now his production stuff wasn't that high, but his custom stuff demands a premium, and he gets that. I mean, he can ask what he wants to because he can sell them for that. So if you can sell something for that, why not ask it, I guess. But I bought one off my buddy, and one of the decks at work, when I was over the deck line, had like a piece of weld spatter or something on it. I had that knife over there digging that weld spatter off it, and the guy across from me knew what that knife was, and he was just flipping out that I was using that knife to do something like that. Now, it didn't hurt the knife. If you have a good knife, if you beat on it or something, yeah, you'll chip the blade or something. But what I was doing wasn't technically going to hurt the edge or the knife or anything like that. I wouldn't destroy an edge of an expensive knife on purpose. But he was flipping out that I was actually even using that knife, a little on for something like that. But, I use my stuff. And like I said, there's nothing wrong if you don't. But if I'm going to spend that much money, I have to use it. I have to. It drives me crazy. I had a Colt AR-15 that was a SP01 that was like a Vietnam era AR-15 with a triangle fore-end. It was totally original. Whole gun was original. Never been fired. Never had a round through it. I couldn't handle it. I could not handle it. I traded that rifle before I shot it because I could not physically handle the fact that the thing had never been fired. I had to fire it. So I went and traded it for a Les Baer 1911, and that was a piece of junk. Don't ever buy a Les Baer. They're expensive, custom 1911. That's my review of that. It jammed every magazine. I never could get that gun to run right. I did. I changed out every part that you could change on that thing. I think they milled the slide wrong, and it just wouldn't feed ammo. So only the other thing I come up with, because I changed everything on that. I contacted them. They told me stuff to do. I did it, and don't buy those. Fish says, yeah, them damn pelicans will stick under the dock and steal the bait. He got me like 4 times too. He bit you like 4 times. It looked like he was biting your hand. All right, next question for you. Did the tarpons hurt when they bit your hand? Because I know they got your hand some, but I don't know if they had teeth. They were big fish, so I don't know if they hurt or not. Rue says, I'm chilling for 3 days. Hey, sounds good, man. I'm going to be chilling for at least 2 of them. And then I've got a big family reunion at my house in North Carolina. So Sunday, I've got to go over there for a decoration. So I'll be back Sunday morning, and then right as soon as I get back, I'll probably take a shower, change clothes, and run over there for decoration. Hey, also, while I'm thinking about it, now that I've got the Xterra back, there'll be some shooting videos coming up. The only reason I didn't shoot any, I did the playing card stuff with the 22 and the suppressor, but I don't like to shoot without suppressors at my house. I've got a lot of neighbors, which I've got this big field, so, it's just the sound that would bother them. And I don't care to do it every once in a while, but I don't want to do it all the time. And my dog's getting old, and it scares him to death whenever you shoot something like that. I'm afraid he's going to have a heart attack, literally. So I don't shoot guns at my house anymore that without a suppressor. So now I didn't want to take my truck to North Carolina and put just a crap load of miles on it more than I was already doing. So now that I got the Xterra back, I'll run a few trips to Johnson City or something like that in to make sure it's reliable. And I'll start hauling guns to North Carolina, and I'll actually start doing some shooting videos. So just heads up, that's coming. Let's see here. Fish says, Gear, do you like Spyderco knives? I really do like Spyderco knives. I've owned several Spyderco knives. I'm trying to think if I actually own any right now. I traded my last one off. It was a paramilitary 2. I really want to get my hands on a, what was that thing called? A Shaman? I think it's called a Shaman. And that knife looks really, really nice. It looks like it's got a really beefy blade and would be a good tactical knife. And it actually has a compression lock like the paramilitary 2 does. So, and also the Yojimbo, it's got the same compression lock. I had one of them too and gave it to my stepdad. But I actually would like to get that knife in hand. And there's also another knife by a company called We Knives, and I'm going to try to contact them. They actually liked and commented on one of my videos earlier, and I'd seen one of their knives, I don't know, about a week ago, and I fell in love with that knife. I think it's called an 801 Minotaur Monitor. I'm not sure what it starts with an M, but it's 801 something. that knife is beautiful. And I'm gonna contact them and see if they do anything for YouTubers, do reviews or something like that. And hopefully they'll give me a discount or something on one, because I would really like to have one of those knives. It was beautiful. Eddie says, I agree. Why buy it if you're not going to use it? I mean, that's the way it is. I don't care. I had a $10,000 rifle at one time, and I shot the piss out of it. I ain't gonna lie. It didn't bother me at all. $3,000 scope on it. I mean, I would throw it in the back of my truck, like in the back floorboard, haul it halfway across the world, and shoot the piss out of it. I mean, it's made to do that. And if I paid that much money for something, and it won't function, I don't need it. Which I wound up trading it anyway, so I guess I didn't need it. Jack says, Mick Strider wife makes cool knives too. She does Damascus very nice. Damascus knives are beautiful. I think it's great how they do that, and they fold that steel over, and they're all, me and Jack was actually talking about this. Me and Jack talked on the phone the other day, and we was talking about Damascus. I think it's amazing how they fold that steel over like that so many times and get the pattern in them, because each Damascus blade will never be duplicated. I mean, it's a blade of its own, so it's a one of a kind for sure. Even if they wanted to duplicate it, they probably couldn't. They might be able to get close, but they couldn't duplicate it. Courtney says, Brian says that about his truck. Why buy a truck if you don't use it as one, same as knives? All right. Maybe I do that with my truck. I try not to put a ton of miles on my truck, and I'll tell you why. I drive my truck on long distances. I drive it to Florida and trips like that. And that's what we always take when we go on vacation. So I don't want to put a ton of miles on it, because I know I'm going to have to drive it on long trips. So that's why I have the Xterra. I don't care to haul some stuff in the bed of my truck. And y'all are going to really get on me about this. I know you are. You're going to be like, you big sissy. But I didn't put the engine out of my Xterra in the back of my truck. My buddy's got an old beat up Nissan, and we'll carry it in it. But I didn't want all those fluids and stuff running out in the bed of my truck and me trying to clean it up and get it out. And I throw luggage back there and stuff like that. And I didn't want all that stuff back there whenever I did that. So go ahead and start abusing me for that, for not wanting to put, a bunch of crap like that. And I don't care to carry soil or haul like, stones and stuff like that. That don't bother me at all. But I don't want a bunch of oils and antifreeze and stuff like that run all over the back of my truck. I am a little picky when it comes to stuff like that. So y'all can beat me up about that. I'm good with it. When I say I use stuff, I guess I use knives and guns. The truck is a little bit the truck costs a lot more than the knives and guns, and I've got a long time to pay for it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to keep it as nice as I can for as long as I can. Rudy says, I got to use it, and if I'm not or won't, it won't happen. That's kind of how I am. If I'm not, I take spells. If I've not shot something in so long, a lot of times I'll be like, well, apparently I don't need this, and I'll either take it and trade it for something else and see if I use it, or I'll just sell it a lot of times. I mean, I don't like selling firearms. If I sell one, I usually buy another one, because I don't use our money. Like mine and my wife's, work paycheck goes into the same account. I don't like to take money out of our account to buy guns. So I'll either work overtime, and I take my overtime out. And that's what I buy my guns with, or I sell or trade another gun to buy a gun. So I don't use our money to purchase firearms or knives or anything like that. And if I go buy it with like a credit card, I'll work overtime and pay my credit card off, versus taking money out of savings or something like that to pay it off. Dan says, hey guys. He actually says, hey geese. Hey Dan, how's it going, buddy? You doing all right? I appreciate you watching all them videos. I've been trying to reply back to, I try to reply back to everybody that watches my videos. So I just, now I always try to reply back to you guys, but I want to go ahead and say it. If I ever get big enough to where I'm getting like hundreds of comments like Nothing Fancy and Demolition Ranch and them guys, I get it. You probably can't reply to 500 comments, but I'll always try to reply to the people that was always there, to start with. I'll never forget about the people that helped me get started. Let's see what's going on. We have, hey Dan from Mike. Courtney says, hi Dan. Fish says, Dan. That's only because you've not drove a Tundra yet. You drive a Tundra, you'll go over and kick a dent in the fender of that Ram. I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's a good truck. I've never owned. I did own one Dodge. Okay, y'all know I, from seeing Xterra and stuff like that, I usually have had two vehicles throughout my life. They've not always been as nice as the Xterra. I'm not saying the Xterra is a super duper nice vehicle, but it's not a bad vehicle. There's not a lot of dents in it. There's not a lot of rust on it. It's in pretty good shape. The only Dodge I've ever owned, other than a Jeep Wrangler, which is, Chrysler Dodge, um, was a Dodge Colt. And oh my God, if y'all seen that vehicle, you'd be like, he is driving that Dodge Colt. Good Lord, that thing was a turd. Um, but I drove it to work. I actually had an oil leak on it one time and was racing a guy home in a Colt. Now I was racing a guy home, and I hit the brakes on it real hard going around a curve, and they must have sparked because it caught the oil that was puddled up on the transaxle on fire. And when I got home, I had a fire underneath the engine and had to put it out. But that car was so durable, I drove it back to work the next day. I just sprayed the engine off, got all the oil off of it, drove it back to work next day. It still ran. Um, so the Colt was not, it was a Dodge Colt. It was a Colt, C-O-L-T. It was a Dodge. Um, it somebody busted the back glass out of it. I sold that thing for $75, and my buddy that bought it drove it home. It ran, and I sold it for $75. It wasn't great, but it ran. Let's see what we got here. Man, I'm behind. Okay, Rudy. There are many places and countries that have laws stating minimal distance to any structure that has people occupying premises around 150 around here. Here, you can shoot pretty much anywhere as long as you're in the country. Now, in the city, you're not allowed to discharge a firearm at all, which is why my stepdad really loved my suppressor, because he could, sometimes, every once in a while, use it in the city. But here, it don't matter. We don't even have a noise ordinance. You could probably shoot at like 2 o'clock in the morning and ain't nothing anybody can do about it. Dan, so pretty much the Xterra is the beater truck. I mean, SUV, and the Tundras, the long going on long hauls and play truck. Yes, that's essentially I drive my Xterra way more than I drive my Tundra. I will change the oil in my Xterra 2 to 3 times to what I will in the Tundra. So the Xterra gets drove a lot more than the Tundra does. It's been a great vehicle. I bought it brand new and sold it to my mom, and now I bought it back off my mom before she got rid of it. So other than when the guy jacked up the engine, which wasn't the Xterra's fault, the Xterra's been a great vehicle. I couldn't ask for a better vehicle. So if this engine right here does as good as the other one did, I've got a long time left to drive that Xterra. Now everything's pretty much new, other than the transmission. The engine, all the seals and everything's been changed. It's got new tires on it. I mean, oil just got changed. I'm good to go for a long time. Sean says, hello, young man. Where's gear? Haha. Hey, yeah, shaved that off. I'm going to Pigeon Forge this weekend, so I thought I'd cut back a little bit on the facial hair. Plus, it's starting to get in my mouth. If y'all see me shave, it's probably because the hair on my upper lip is starting to get in my mouth. Even though I trim it, it still drives me crazy. So if I'm shaved, it got a little bit too long and I cut it off. Justin says, yay for the Xterra being home. I agree, Justin. I'm very excited. I parked the truck. The truck's getting a rest right now. It's asleep over there in the corner where it normally is. And the workhorse is back home. Jack says, does anyone bushcraft or go camping? I used to go camping years ago. I've never done much bushcrafting. I've watched it on YouTube, and it looks really interesting. But I don't know anybody else that does it. If I knew someone else that did it, I think I could really get into it. But none of my friends around here do it, so I've never really tried it. And I'm assuming you're talking about making bowls and forks and knives and stuff like that in shelters. So when I went camping, now you got to think about this first of all. I have a house in North Carolina way back up in the woods, and when I go camping, it's not really camping. Now, I used to go camping years ago, but now that I've got that house over there, I can go way back in the woods and be in the middle of nothing, but still have 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. So I don't go camping as much anymore as I go glamping. I guess we call it glamping. I do glamping now. That's embarrassing. Don't tell anybody I go glamping. All right, where are we at? Mike, all this, what's up? Uh, Justin's laughing at Mike. Rudy says, I can understand exactly. I think I'd like a 12-inch howitzer on my front lawn and a 40-foot flagpole. That would be pretty awesome. My neighbors will probably expect that from me one day. Just says, how comfortable is the Xterra? Does it have power? Xterra has no power. Very, very little. It's got a little bit of low-end torque, but as far as power goes, it does not have any power. Driving it is a little cramped because I'm 6'3". If you're probably 6 foot or smaller, it's probably pretty comfortable. It's not uncomfortable for me, but it's a little bit uncomfortable. But overall, I've drove it to the beach several times when I had it before. No issues at all. Just says you caught your engine on fire. Yeah, I did catch one of them on fire. I put it out and drove it the next day though, so we're good. Dan says my comment was goofed up. The Colt was not a real Dodge. It was a Mitsubishi, and a Dodge nameplate wasn't the real Dodge. And that may have been true, but it did have a Dodge base plate on it, and that's the only Dodge I've actually ever owned as far as Dodge badged vehicles. Sean says, friend of mine had a Colt in high school. Yeah, mine was a little silver hatchback with the gray interior. Man, it wasn't much to look at, but that car was tough. I abused that car and for years. And then my buddy bought it. It did have a pretty bad oil leak, but it never quit running. Rudy, it's okay. I had a 1976 Mercury Bobcat. Mike says 77 Ford Granada in yellow. Hey, I like yellow vehicles. I had a yellow 300ZX and a yellow Nissan Frontier quad cab 4x4. I really like that. All right. I really like my yellow Nissan, and it had 22,000 miles on it, and it was like 4 or 5 years old. Whoever had it never drove it. And that's why I traded for the Xterra, actually. And what did I trade that for the Xterra? Seems like I traded that for the Xterra. But anyway, so I go pick this vehicle up. I didn't look up underneath it. It had 22,000 miles on it. I mean, it was a new looking vehicle. Drove great. Brought it home, parked it, backed out of the driveway and looked over, and there was like a piece of rust this big on the bottom of it. Who thinks, I mean, the body and everything was spotless. I crawled up underneath that thing, and it was rusted out. It come from the coast, and there was chunks of rust falling off of it. I took it to a dealership to look at, and they told me to get rid of it. They was like, this thing is so far gone, you need to get rid of it. 22,000 miles on it, and the frame was rusted out. I mean, it was bad. They told me I shouldn't even drive it. So I got an Xterra, and I've still got the Xterra. I am so far behind. Oh my gosh, I'm far. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I heard the Colt is mostly Mitsubishi. And it may have been. I didn't know at the time. But it still had a Dodge badge on it. Sorry if I'm not commenting very much right now. I'm laying in my bed because I was helping my grandparents out, and I damaged my back again. So right now, I'm in a little bit of pain. Hey, you and Edge both, buddy. You and Edge both got some back pain right now. Edge is at the ER right now with his, and we're hoping he's okay. Hope that loaf of bread didn't get you hurt the other day. Mike says, sorry to hear, Dan. Eddie says, take care of yourself, Dan. Sean says, Pam making you clean up before you go out of town. Yeah, I didn't want her to be embarrassed walking around with me. I wanted to look younger than her is what it is. People say when I shave, I look younger than she does. So I tell everybody when we go out that she better be glad I like older women. She's actually about 1.5 years younger than me. That's going to get me in trouble one day. Justin says, really sorry about that, Dan. Back pain must suck. It does. I've had some lower back pain some, but nothing major, and it even sucks. Hey, there's a cow. No more cow. Thanks, Ripple. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. I think he meant Rouser. Rudy, my idea of camping is Holiday Inn. That's my idea of camping at the beach. Actually, I usually get condos, but we actually got a cabin this weekend. I really like cabins too. Justin says, do you like to hunt or hike? I used to hunt when I was younger. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I've never like a dog as much as I do the dog I have now. The dog I have now is like a member of my family, and he's made me soft, so I don't hunt anymore. My dog's really made me soft. Now that's not saying that if I wasn't hungry, I couldn't. I'm just saying. But so I still know how to do it and all that. I can still shoot, obviously, so it's not a huge deal to actually, take one down. But as long as I have enough money to buy my food that somebody else killed, I don't care about people hunting. It doesn't bother me at all if you hunt. But I'm totally fine with it because I used to do it. I've killed some bears, a lot of squirrels. Never killed a deer. Went deer hunting several times. Never got to see one. But I have killed a few bears. But so I don't mind people doing it. But my dog, just for me, I can't do it anymore. But like I said, if I didn't have the money to do it and I was hungry and my family's hungry, I wouldn't have a problem doing it. But as long as I have enough money to buy it that somebody else killed, that's the route I'm gonna go. And hiking, I run. I don't usually hike, so I go to the track or around town or something and run. But as far as getting out and hiking, that would require people to go with me. And my wife's not a big hiker, so I don't hike very much. I don't have nothing against it. I've done it, but I don't do it very often because usually I have to do it by myself. Dan, and thank you, Eddie. I'll take care of my back. I'll be fine. Just need to relax. Sean says, you're really roughing it. Oh, you know it, man. Glamping. Really roughing it. 3 bedrooms, couple baths, kitchen, dining room. If the end of the world hit, I would still have water over there because it comes from a spring into the house. So, you know, I could go over there and they could, poison all the water they wanted to around here, but I would still have drinking water and I could take a shower. It'd be very cold, but I could still take a shower and have toiletries. It'd be rough. That's my contingency plan, by the way. Eddie, don't use the back of the truck and call going to a house camping. I know, right? Hey, I used to have 2 trucks. I had my truck like the Tundra that I didn't use, and then I had a second truck that I used like crazy. So it's pretty bad when you buy 2 vehicles, one to take on vacation to haul luggage, and the other to haul whatever else you want to haul. Hey, right there is a baby calf. Yeah, I'm a sissy. Gabe says, hey, Andy, just wanted to pop in and say hi. God bless. Hey, God bless. You too, Gabe. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Give Chewy a big hug for me, and hope you and Jennifer have a great weekend. Hope y'all are off this weekend, get a long weekend. Gabe is one of the very first people I ever met on Instagram. I don't know if y'all know it or not, but Gear Runner was going to be my Instagram website. I know I still have Instagram gear_runner, but Gear Runner, one word, was going to be my Instagram website. And I put some pictures of my dog on it, and my dog is actually way more popular than I am. He has like 13 or 1400 followers. And Gabe is one of the people that I met on there first. He's got a dog named Chewy. Very, very, very cute little dog. Go give Chewy a follow, and Gabe also. But they're very nice people, and we've talked on the phone, and we've seen each other care packages and stuff like that. Super duper nice people, and I really hope to meet them one day. They're just awesome. I mean, they're great people, great Christian people. I mean, they're very, very nice, and I appreciate everything they've ever done and all the nice, kind words they've said and the prayers they've given to my buddy that has cancer. He's still got cancer. He's still fighting it. It's been a year now, but he's getting a little weak right now. But I don't post as much pictures of my dog anymore. I know Chris, I actually just subbed to or followed Buddy on Instagram. But Buddy's gotten old and he's getting feeble and he's gone blind. So I don't post as much pictures as I used to of him because I want people on there that followed him to remember him as the spunky little dog he was. So I don't post as much as I used to. Let me find that Gabe. Man, I'm way behind. Mike says, Eddie, LOL. Rebel says, hey, Gabe. Sean says, same color too, silver on gray. Yep, silver on gray. I don't know. I don't even know if it made another color. It's like Ford. You can have any color you want as long as it's black. Justin says, you're going away this weekend? I am. I'm going to Pigeon Forge, me and my wife. Courtney says, update, Brian bruised his spine. Oh my God, that sounds awful. I don't know what do they do for that? I don't know if I've ever heard of that. What do they do? I mean, I don't know what they do. I hope it's nothing major. Hope it ain't surgery or anything. I wouldn't think it'd be surgery, but I hope it's not. Rudy, a buddy of mine has a light yellow 71 Grand Torino GT with a 351 Cleveland and 4 on the floor. My mom used to have a Grand Torino GT. It was green back before I was alive. I just remember seeing pictures of it. Justin, wow, Courtney, that doesn't sound good. Praying for him. Definitely, definitely. Prayers to Brian. Mike says, poor Brian. Tell him, hope he feels better. Courtney says, love camping. Nothing better than sleeping under the stars. It's been a long time since I slept under the stars. I've had a house in North Carolina since I was about 16, so I've not slept under the stars in years. Courtney says, thanks, Justin. Which I didn't mind doing it. I still don't mind doing it, except for getting eaten up by mosquitoes. That sucks a little bit. But Fish says, feel better, Brian. Rudy says, I'll see the surgeon Wednesday for my back. It's like an epidemic. Man, there's a lot of people on here with back issues. I'm afraid, man, I don't know if I want to go to Pitching Porch or not. Bad things might happen. Actually, they come in threes. So we got Rudy, Brian, and Dan. Hope y'all get to feeling better. But that's the three right there. Courtney says, thanks, Mike and Fish. Rudy says, probably someone had it on the coast, went to the salt water with the truck. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I don't know why I didn't finish that story, but that's exactly what it was. It came from the coast. They bought it at an auto auction, and it had come from the coast. Courtney says, leave the cow alone. Oh, gosh. I can't get my fingers right. Buddy going down with you? No, Buddy's staying here with Michaela and her boyfriend. I'm sure her boyfriend will be here. I don't know. I'm going to assume he is. We'll be gone, so that's just my guess. But they're staying here with Buddy. Eddie, glad it's not worse than that, Brian. I don't know how bad that is. Jack says, Edge and Dan, the man, hope y'all feel better. Prayers to you guys, definitely. Prayers to Rudy as well. Just says, haha, Buddy turned you soft. Hey, if I had an awesome puppy, I would have felt the same. Yeah, he really did, man. I didn't care at all to go out hunting and stuff like that, but after I got my dog, I don't know, turned me soft. I don't know what I'll do when something happens to my dog. I'll probably have to quit Insta or YouTube for about 2 weeks because I'll be distraught. I better shoot a bunch of video and just have that on the back burner just so when something does happen. Courtney says, thanks, Jack. Rudy says, you're a golfer, not a hunter. It's okay. No, I used to be a hunter and not a golfer. And then I become a golfer and not a hunter. I kind of switch roles. I don't golf too much anymore. Not as much as I'd like to. Dan says, I do agree with that one. Thanks, Jack. Appreciate it. And I'll be fine. I ain't the first time I've damaged my back, and it probably won't be the last. I'm pretty tough. I don't get injured very easily. That's good to hear. Eddie says, good dogs make you soft. Boy, they do. I ain't going to lie. They really do. How often do you run? I've just started back running this year, and I've run about 3 days a week. Last year, I ran 7 days a week, sometimes 2 times a day. On work days, I would only run once a day, but on weekends, I would run in the mornings and at night most times. So I would run 7 days a week, and I never missed a day. I did usually 8 to 10 minutes of ab exercises, but I'm a little chunky now because I've not been doing that. I'm just now getting back into it. And I did between 200 and 400 push-ups a day. And I would do that 6 days a week. On Sundays, I would just run. I wouldn't do the push-ups and abs. Just says, have you ever biked? I used to bike. I used to really like biking, but I actually sold my bike, so I don't bike. My road is like Grand Central Station. If you bike on this road, you're liable to get hit. Very likely liable to get hit. So I sold my bike and quit doing that. I got guns and ammo. I ain't talking paper magazines. Therefore, I will never be hungry. Yeah, very true. That's me. I mean, I don't care to go hunt. It don't bother me at all to go do it. But as long as I don't have to, I'm not going to. I ain't gonna say it don't bother me. It always bothered me to kill something like that, and but I always ate it. I never would kill anything just for sport and just take it. I always ate everything I killed. All the bears I killed, the squirrels, everything. Squirrel gravy for breakfast, bear stew. Everything I ever killed, I ate it. Unless it was like a crow. Crows are menaces and they eat all your corn out of the garden. Sometimes I kill them. Well, right now, I'm doing this sitting in the bed, eating donuts, getting a little fatter. Love donuts. God, Bobby Photo or somebody like that, I forget who it is on my Instagram account, posted blueberry glazed donuts from Krispy Kreme. I didn't even know they made blueberry glazed. I love blueberry stuff. Oh, God, that sounded so good. Sean says, looked like a good T-bone behind you. It did. He'd probably make a couple of good T-bones. Uh, Dan the car man. Well, I definitely learned a valuable lesson today. Never haul an 80 pound file box made of wood up 2 steps by yourself. It might hurt your back. Definitely might. Just says, LOL. Good to know, Dan. Jack says, Rudy, hope all goes well with the surgery or surgeon. Prayers to you too. Yeah, yeah, Rudy. Rudy's got a good story. I'm not gonna share it. It's between me and him. But Rudy's a good guy, and I do wish you the best, Rudy. Uh, Justin says, so you don't hunt, but do you like fishing? I like fishing. I really do. I've not been a long time. I have so much stuff going on. I don't get, even if I did hunt, it would be hard for me to find time to hunt. That's the main thing, especially now with YouTube. YouTube does take a lot of time. I'm planning on doing shooting videos. My house in North Carolina that I'm going to go shoot at will take me probably 30 to 40 minutes to get there, just one way, and another 30 to 40 home. And then I'll take, however long it takes me to shoot a shooting video, let's say 30 minutes to an hour for shooting videos, and I edit that down. So, I don't have a lot of time to go fishing, but I used to really, really like to fish, trout fish. I used to like to trout fish. I used to like to bass fish too if I knew somebody had a boat. I've never had a boat, but well with this. Okay, we done read that. Rudy says, this will be my fourth surgery. It does transpire. That's its only passage. It's the only passage. Man, I've heard horror stories about back surgery. I hope it goes well for you. I've just heard a lot of horror stories about that. Jack says, anyone tried to Strike Force energy drinks besides Gear and Justin? I bought the grape and like it. Dude, whatever's in this right here, I'm not saying it's water, but it's nothing strong. I will tell you that. It does have a grape Strike Force in it. You can put Strike Force in anything. And like I said, if you use my discount code, it saves you 20%. And if you buy 5 boxes, you get one free. I mean, you buy 5 boxes, the 5th one's free. You save, there's $9.99 a box, and with the 20% discount code, because I use my discount code, they don't give it to me. I still have to buy it. I've talked to those guys several times, but I'm not sponsored by them or anything. So I still have to pay for it, and I still buy it. So, I'm not going to buy something that's not a good product. And I bought 5 boxes the other day because if you buy over $34 or something like that, it's free shipping. And 4 boxes don't get you free shipping. So I went ahead and bought the 5th box and saved $9.99. So basically, the 5th box was free, and I got free shipping. So, Rudy, and if you want the discount code, if you all want to try it, the energy drink video I made actually has a link into it where you can just do that link, and my discount code's already applied to it, so you save 20% off just by going through that link. Rudy said, I don't ride motorcycles anymore, too many cell phones. God, I know it. I had a buddy that's paralyzed right now, and it wasn't his fault. He was just riding along, and a van run him off into a ditch and didn't stop, left him there for 4 hours until 2 young girls come by and seen him holding his hand up, and they stopped and called 911. Just says, what? Wow, Rudy, prayers. Truly prayers. Prayers for everybody that's got back injuries right now. It sucks. Sean says, bear is horrible. Tough meat. That all depends on how you fix it. I fixed it in a stew, and it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. Fish says, good luck, Rudy. Dan says, one of the worst part is today I actually have to go to work, so I got to walk about 10 miles all night because I do patrols. I do security. Yeah, that's going to suck. I bet it's not on, like, carpet. It's going to be on, like, asphalt. Rudy says, thanks, Jack. Eddie says, wow, Rudy. Oh, that went up too quick. Mike said, I got my boat. We'll have to go some. Hey, I'm in, Mike. Over the summer, sometime we'll go hit the water. Love the water. That's why I like the beach so much. I'm a water dog. I love the water. Dan said, I would only get back surgery if I was in so much pain I couldn't bear it anymore. but I can bear it, so no back surgery for me. Besides, I'm only 33-year-old. I'm too young to have that done. I totally agree. They wanted to fuse my neck, and I was like, not happening, people. I'm not having that done until I just can't take it anymore. So I didn't do it. Justin retracted. He probably said I was great and didn't want everybody to know it. Eddie says, I hope I never have to have back surgery. True. Eddie retracted. There's Eddie agreeing with Justin. He said, yeah, yours great. There's just nobody better. And they didn't want everybody to know it. That's what I'm going with anyway. Sean says, you heading down to Gatlinburg tonight? No, we're heading to tomorrow around lunchtime or something like that, I guess. Sometime around that time. Probably around 11 or 12. We can't check in till 4, but we can go walk around, all the places down there and stuff like that prior. We're only going to stay a couple days and come back Sunday. Just, get a couple days away. We used to do this a lot. We don't do it much anymore, but we used to do it 4 or 5, 6 times a year. We just get tired of Greenville. There's not a lot to do here. So we would go get a cabin down in Pigeon Forge and, stay a couple nights. Used to, they'd let you rent it for one night, and we'd leave on Friday night or leave on Saturday night. Hell, man. Leave Saturday morning, come back Sunday morning. I'll get this out in a minute. But now they won't let you rent just one night. You have to rent at least 2. And the only way they let you rent 2 now is if just happens chance there's a cabin that's not rented. They want you to stay 3. And I don't want to stay 3. Not that close to home. If I'm going to stay 3, I'm going to the beach. And for what you rent a cabin for, you can, all right, if you go to Pigeon Forge for a week and rent a cabin, you could probably almost stay 2 weeks at the beach in a condo for the same price, at least a week and a half. And that's including gas. Cabins aren't cheap. It's ridiculous. And then they charge you a cleaning fee on top of that. The cabin might just be like $150, $200 a night, but then they charge you like another $70 cleaning fee on top of it because you didn't stay 3 nights. If you stay 3 nights or 4 nights, they don't charge you that cleaning fee. But if you only stay 2, then you get some huge cleaning fee that's almost as much as another night at the cabin. Let's see where we at. Where in the world? Okay. Just says Strike Force, Jack Daniels. It's what's in the cup. That's not what's in the cup. It's not that strong. It's nowhere near that strong. I'll go ahead and tell you that. Oh, I thought that decal flew off. I have my little car PM9 out here with me, and I actually used it as paperweight. And I looked over and didn't see the decal. I thought I'd set the decal on top, and I thought the decal blew away. And I was like, where'd that decal go? I'm going to have to get Rob to send me another one, but it's still there. But no, it's not Jack Daniels. It's not that strong. But it does have a Strike Force in it. Dan says, well, the worst part of having back surgery is sometimes it can actually make it worse than it was before the surgery, so no thanks, take a leave. I've actually heard horror stories like that where people say it was actually worse after the surgery than it was before. I hope that don't happen, Rudy, but I've heard. I'm not trying to scare you or nothing, but I have heard horror stories about that. Just says, oh well, I guess everyone already knows you're great. Thanks, Justin. I don't know. They probably don't. I probably ain't. Dan says, I'm actually thinking of doing a road trip myself this summer. I've never seen the eastern part of Idaho, so I'm actually thinking of going over there. I hear it's nice. Hey, I say do it. I take a lot of road trips in the summertime. I'm never around Greenville much. I'm always gone. Justin says, eastern Idaho is beautiful. I've never been to Idaho. I've never been west of Nashville. I know that's crazy, but I've never been west of Nashville. Sean says, Hidden Mountain Cabin's nice. That's where I'm actually staying, Hidden Mountain Resorts. That's where I'm actually staying at. We always stay at Hidden Mountain Resorts. Mike says, that's true about the cabins. Yeah, it is. Rudy says, I agree. I'm at that stage. I can't be on my feet beyond 5 minutes without reaching a point where it feels like a warm steel sword's going from my lower back to your gut, and it's hard even when I breathe. That's awful. That's a bad way to be right there. I'm sorry, Rudy. That's an awful way to be. And there's nothing you can really do about that. I mean, even laying down, a lot of times you can't get enough ease out of it to make it, feel a lot better. That's the bad part about back pain. Dan says, but then again, I want to see the Oregon coast. Again, I haven't seen that since 2006, and I love the ocean. I love the ocean. I have to see the ocean several times a year I go through withdrawals if I don't. Seriously, I mean seriously, I go through withdrawals if I don't see a coast. So here we go. Here's what my plan is. Okay, I will probably never make it this big on YouTube. I don't know. I mean, you never know what happens. But if I ever make it big enough on YouTube that I can afford a condo at the beach off what I make off YouTube, even if I have to work my other job, if I can make the payments off this, here's what I plan on doing. I plan on renting the condo out because why not rent it out, make some money off of it if, you can't go down there all the time or can't live there. Eventually, when I retired, I would live there. But what I plan on doing is 1 or 2 weeks out of the year, if this ever happens, it may not ever happen, and who knows, 10 years down the road, 5 years down the road, what'll happen with YouTube and me and everything else. But if it ever gets to that point where I can afford that, I plan on giving away 1 to 2 weeks a year to some of you guys. Seriously. I mean, if you people watch my video and I can make enough money off of that to purchase something like that, I feel like I should give some of that back. So I would actually do a contest, a couple of times a year and give away a free week to some of you guys. You know, just like a random giveaway like I did the other day for 500 subscribers. And, somebody'd win a free week at the beach. Now, that being said, I may still want like, you know, a deposit or something to cover if you destroyed something. I'm not saying any of you people would destroy anything, but if you get big enough to make that kind of money, you don't know who's going to win that. So maybe I'd want like $150 deposit to cover some kind of damage insurance or something like that, and then you get it back as long as you didn't just destroy something. But I would give away a week down there, and that's probably $1,100 or $1,200 value. So I would probably give away a couple weeks on YouTube if I ever got that big. Not saying I'll ever get that big, and I probably won't. I appreciate everybody that watches, but I don't know if I'll ever make enough money to do something like that. I've got a long way to go before that happens. If I do, you all heard it here first. I'm giving away some free vacations. Mike says, "Man, Rudy, that's rough." Rebel says, "Wow, Rudy, I can't imagine. Me neither." Dan says, "Well, Gear, what the hell is wrong with you? You need to come to Idaho. I think you'd like it." I don't even know what's in Idaho. I know they make potatoes, but other than that, I didn't know they did anything else. Just says, "When you're coming north, you need to see how the snobs live." We got some snobs here. Maybe not as many as up there, but we got some here too. Rudy says, "Tequila helps." I imagine it does. How much does those condos cost to buy? The ones I've been looking at aren't oceanfront. They're in Myrtle. Myrtle's really close to me, and I'm thinking that's where, even if we don't make enough money on here, we've talked about buying a condo down there and renting it out to pay for it. But it's a walking distance to the beach. It might be 75 to 100 yards to the beach, and it's downhill. So, and I kind of like that because then you're not up front. If a hurricane does come through, you don't get the blunt of the storm. There's 4 or 5 condos in front of you. And I talked to some people that own these condos, and they said they bought them because after Hurricane Andrew, I think it was, it tore up North Myrtle so bad, that these condos were still in real good shape, even though the ones in front of them had been destroyed. The ones in front of them kind of blocked it out, and they rebuilt the ones in front of them, so they're still there. So, you don't drive down there. It's walking distance, very much walking distance. I would never buy a condo at the beach. I had to drive to the beach, unless it was Florida and I could actually drive on the beach. But they're around 125,000 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and that's what I'd want because if you have a condo at the beach, if you're living there, people is going to want to come see you. I mean, people is going to want to come see you. So you need a spare bedroom. Plus, if you're going to rent it out and try to help pay it off, or you're going to, give back to the people that helped buy that condo for you, essentially, they're probably going to have a family too. So you're looking about 125,000 for that. I have seen them up oceanfront as far as about 155 to 160 there. So it's not crazy. Rudy says, "And I haven't missed a day of work yet except for doctor's appointments." That's amazing right there. That's what's amazing. God love tripping dog. Tripping dog? I'm not tripping. Okay, I read that right. One in the mountains of Idaho. We are one on the coast of Oregon. To most of my favorite places. Yeah. This would actually be my third house if I bought one at the beach. The one in North Carolina was willed to me, so I didn't actually buy it. I bought this one, got that and willed to me. The one in one at the beach. I will eventually have a condo at the beach. I will retire to the beach eventually, unless something crazy happens to me at my job. Eventually, I will retire and move to the beach if I don't buy one prior to that. Free condo for a week. Man, I'm so glad I found this channel. I'm telling you, if I ever make that much money, I'm not saying I'll ever make that much money, but if I ever do and I can support that off this channel, I always told you I'll give back to the channel. The money I make, I don't expect to make that much anytime soon, and I may never make that much. But the money I make early on, I will buy stuff to review for you guys, so you can see. To buy stuff for the truck, buy stuff for whatever vehicle I've got. I'll buy guns, knives, gear, just to review for the channel. If I ever make that much money to buy a condo at the beach, I'll still buy stuff to review for the channel, but I will give back by the way of giving away free vacations. I just feel like if you all care enough to watch my videos and support me like that, I care enough to give back to you in that, in some way, shape, or form. Rebel says, hey, God love. Sean says, how do you feel about the off-road shop in Bristol? You have bought from there before. I'm ready to put on leveling kit. Dude, I love RPM Off-Road, man. They're great people. I bought several things from them. I bought my Bushwhacker fender flares from them. I bought my Nerf bars from them. And when I had a problem with my end fabs, they took them right back and gave me a brand new ones and put them on for me. So they're great people. I really like them. Just says Idaho has some amazing, beautiful, crystal clear lakes and waterfalls. It's amazing for fishing and swimming. Maybe I'll get up there one day. Me and my wife talked about going back out north and going down the bottom and then coming back up across the top. Maybe I'll make it out there one day. Fish says gear throw in around to golf with you also. I could do that. I could throw in around to golf. I don't know if anybody want to golf with me. I'm not great anymore. I used to be a good golfer, but I'm not that great anymore. I don't play enough to be great. So maybe they would like to play with me. They could beat me pretty easy and be like, ha ha ha, you suck. Sean, my wife's family has a house down in Cherry Grove. Be careful who you let stay. I totally understand that. That's why I would probably get a deposit, just because if something got destroyed, I would keep the deposit to pay the deductible to have it fixed. But as long as they didn't destroy anything, they get that. It'd be a totally free vacation. But if you destroy something, I fully expect you to fix it. Just like the guy destroyed my engine, I fully expect eventually for him to have to pay for that. I don't know what I have to go through to do it, but I fully expect him to pay for that. So if you destroy something at my condo, I would expect you to fix it. Hey, Sean, so your wife's family has a house in Cherry Grove. Call me. DM me if they let people rent that out, because I very well might be interested in staying there. I've never damaged anything, by the way, so I'm pretty decent renter. We just kind of lay around and watch TV. So if she rents that out, let me know. DM me on Instagram or something. Let me know the prices, stuff like that. I very well might be interested in that. I like Cherry Grove. I've been up there several times. Dan says, that's right, Rebel. Beautiful, beautiful state to live in. Cheap as well. It's cheap to live here, too. Taxes are stupid cheap here. Eddie says, good night, guys. Hey, good night, Eddie. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. I appreciate it. I'll see you on your next live, or I'll try to make a next live, unless it's this weekend. All right, I'm going to tell y'all straight up, there probably won't be much gear this weekend going on. I'll be up there in Pigeon Forge hanging out with my wife and, doing the family thing, and we kind of need this. So there probably won't be much going on, which is why this live stream tonight. Let me turn on where's the battery on this case? I bought a battery case. Did it come on? All right, we're good. Thank God for battery cases, because I just got a low battery warning. So that's the good thing about this case I just reviewed the other day. Battery warning come on, turn on the battery case. But yeah, I probably won't be on much this weekend. And then Sunday, I've got that thing in North Carolina. I have 0 service over there. So it'll probably be Monday, really, before you see much. I've got some stuff already pre-recorded, and I might throw some of that up early on if my wife's asleep, so I might upload some of that. Nothing big, but I may throw up some of them videos. Appreciate it. I will show you this, though. Hang on a minute, let me get it out. I didn't know if you was listening. It did kind of smudge a little bit, but I don't care. I can still read it. I appreciate you signing it for me. And I'm not putting that on nothing. That way, whenever you get big and famous, I'll have a Throb Nation decal that, oh my gosh, I'm way far behind. A Throb Nation decal that's actually signed by you and Krista. I don't have to try to pill to but like I said before, I actually have one right here on this. So I've already got one on something. Eddie just says Throbby. Throb says, I'm so late. Hey, we've been on 86 minutes and I'm so far behind. So, hey, welcome to it. Throb says, Justin. Mike says, hey, Throb. Justin says, we're waiting for you. Yeah, that's why we was on here so long. Hey, did you get all your yard sale stuff marked? You selling any guns cheap? If you are, just ship them down here to FFL and I'll just go pick them up. Throb says, hey, Mike. Fish says, hey, Rob. Says, hey, Fish. Justin says, you definitely need a deposit, especially if Rob was going to stay there. I know, right? Throb says, I'm very responsible mostly. I would trust Throb to stay at my condo anytime. Jack says, hey, Throb. Dan says, so the gear won't be here. No, not much this weekend. There probably won't be much gear. You know, I put up a video almost every day for the past 4 months. So I'm going to take 2 or 3 days off probably. I mean, I ain't going to swear to it. I'm not going to say I won't put up some short videos that I've already got recorded in the mornings. But like I said, I don't bank on it. This is going to be a vacation from work, from Greenville, and maybe YouTube as well. I'll still may watch some videos at night, but I don't know if I'll post any. Although when I go to Bud's and Smoky Mountain Knife Works, you know, depends on what mood I'm in. I may videotape in the store as long as they ain't playing no doggone music. Sean said, I'll ask. They are down there now, wife and kid too. Man, I love the beach. I really like that up there. It's really nice. You know, I don't like South Myrtle. I stay away from that, all the thugs and all the violence and stuff like that. You know, not saying I can't handle all that, but I don't want to handle that. You know, as a responsible carrier and stuff like that, which I did carry permit, so I never have to, renew that again. That's here to stay. If I live to be 112 years old, I'll have a carry permit forever. But wish I could do that in my license. But so I did just renew that for my lifetime. But I try to stay away from that. I don't ever want to have to use my firearm in any kind of situation. Now that being said, if you push me to the point where I have to pull my firearm, if I pull my firearm from the holster, that means I intend to use it. And I will never pull it unless it gets to that point. So I try to stay away from places where that might happen. And so I try to stay away from all the bad neighborhoods and stuff like that. Nobody wants to hurt anybody. So the best thing to do is just avoid those areas if at all possible. Justin says, you cut your finger live, Rob. He did cut his finger. Dan says, hey, Courtney, keep us up to date on Edge. How he's doing. I'll keep him in my prayers as well. Yeah, please keep us up. DM us, Courtney, if you find out. I don't know what they do for a bruised spine, but let us know. Rudy says, I'm in an office environment and I sit most of the day. Me too. I get up, move around, or my behind feels like I'm wooden park bench. Agreed, man. I have to get up and walk through the facility every once in a while or I go nuts. But I spend, out of my 8 hours, 8.5, 9 hours of the day at work, I probably spend 7 of it at a desk right now. It drives me crazy sometimes. Sean says he's dying out. Me? I'm dying out. You got a Throb. Lucky you. Yeah, I got a Throb decal. It's autographed. Just said I got to go pack up my van for the dealer. Hope you have a romantic and fun week. Hey, I appreciate it, Justin. I hope I get your van fixed, man. I hope it didn't do any like structural damage to the frame or anything like that. I hope it's just all fenders and bumpers and hoods and headlights. Nothing I have to pull out or anything. Throb says gear has been throbbed. Okay, I'll take. I'm not gonna say I'll take it. See you Monday. Working on the garage stuff, lots of stuff to sell. If you got all them guns you sell, man, just ship them down here in my FFL. I mean, just go ahead and send the whole safe and all. Strap them down good so they don't get scratched. But heck, if you don't even do that, I'll still take them, even if they are scratched. I got a company right across the hill here that does Cerakote. They do all my Cerakote work, so if they get scratched, I can Cerakote them. or Parker Island. They do any kind of fishing except blueing. I don't think I do blueing. Fish says, Rob, you have any Rebel items? Just says Happy Memorial Day. Hey, Happy Memorial Day to everybody if I don't forget that. Happy Memorial Day. I hope y'all have a great weekend and a great holiday. You too. You have a great weekend and holiday too, Justin. I mean, it's just everybody, but you too. Throb says, I have a caravan tips, Justin. Carving tips. Oh, carving tips for the exhaust. I see what you're saying now. And didn't Fish ask that question? Sean says, north is where to be. Yeah, I agree. I thought you meant up north. I said, no, Sean, we live in the south. But yeah, North Myrtle Beach is definitely where to be. Fish says, black ones. Courtney says, thank you, I will. Throb says, glad you got the sticker. Might be worth 50 cents one day. Well, I'll sell it for $1. No, I'm kidding. I ain't selling it. Oh, I'm just kidding. I ain't going to put it on anything, though. I'm going to leave it like that right there on the backing. Keena says, so how's the Xterra? Xterra's great. It's running good. I picked it up today. Check engine light was on about 10 miles down the road. Took it back. They knew exactly what was wrong with it. They just forgot to plug up a vacuum line. They plugged that up, and it's been running perfect ever since. Runs great. Quiet. Sean says, you were dying out. Fine now. Wonder what's wrong with it. It got a little darker on the screen. My screen ain't as bright as it used to be. It's getting a little darker outside, too. Rudy says, dinner's on later. Y'all have a safe Memorial Day weekend. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Rudy. You have a great weekend. Have a great holiday, and take it easy on that back, buddy. Courtney says, got to go pick up dinner. Have a great weekend, guys. Hey, you have a great weekend, Courtney. Have a good holiday, and enjoy your time off. Fish says, bye, Courtney. Throb says, I believe they are black fish. I didn't want to say you are because I read that totally wrong. That could have come out wrong, and then I'd have had a whole thing of negative comments on here later. Throb says, you should frame it, hang it in your living room, and put a spotlight on it. I agree, just like what is it? Oh, what's that guy's name that does all them paintings with the lights? Oh, man. What is the guy that paints the pictures and has the lights, like the lighthouses with lights on all the houses? He's very known for putting lights in, like, houses and stuff like that. He's got, like, in Pigeon Forge, he has, like, the things where you buy his paintings. I went stupid. I can't remember his name. Mike says, later, Rudy, take care. Jack says, prayers to all sick folks and have a great weekend, a holiday. Enjoy your time with your family. Be safe, fix and go eat dinner. See you guys and gals. Hey, Jack, you have a great day. That looked awesome again. Thanks again. And have a great weekend and great holiday. Enjoy your time off, buddy. We'll see you next time. Mike says, bye, Courtney, and Mike says, see you, Jack. Well, people, we've been on here 93 minutes. That's a long time. That's probably like the longest. Just hit the thumbs up. I always forget to. I've actually just watched your video, Throb. The one with the SIs and the green, your mom liking the green touring edition. And I forgot to hit the thumbs up on that and comment. I actually started this live stream right after it. So after I get off this live stream, I'll go back and like that video and leave a comment on it. Dan says, well, guys, I think I'm going to head off now. Take care. Happy Memorial Day. God bless, and have a good one. God bless you too, Dan. You have a good Memorial Day weekend, and take it easy on it back. Keena says, oh, come on, Andy. And Mike says, have a great trip. Be safe, Andy. Throb says, thanks, Gear. Hey, Dan. And Mike says, see you, Dan. Like I said, it's 94 minutes now. I'm going to get off here and go pack. Doing a giveaway. You're in it. You're doing a giveaway and I'm in it? What are you giving away? Sean says, hope everyone's back is better. Gear, have a great trip. I'm out. Hey, you have a great weekend, Sean. Enjoy your Memorial Day. Fish says, bye, everyone. See you, Fish. Thanks for stopping by. Mike says, see you, Sean. Throb says, have a good trip, Gear. And fam, I appreciate it. Just me and my wife's going down this time. My daughter's staying here with the dog. Mike says, see you, Fish. Hey, I want to say thank everybody for stopping by this live stream and watching it. Mark Finato, you're in it. Finato. I'll have to look that up. I don't know what that is. Thanks you all for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. I really do. You're all why I do this. Hope y'all have a great weekend. Sean says later, Mike and Rob. Hope y'all have a great weekend. Stay safe. Don't do any fishing auto. Okay, that's what you're saying. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy time with your family. and everything like that. Keena says, God bless. Yes, God bless everyone. Prayers to all the ones that are sick and your back's hurting. And thank y'all for stopping by. We'll see you next time, and we'll probably see you Monday, actually. Y'all have a great day and have a good weekend. See you.